yesterday I had you fill out that blue sheet, right? You want to go ahead and get that out for me? Okay. On that blue sheet, I just wanted to reinforce some concepts for you. Some of you are like, oh yeah, this is familiar. And some of you are like, I don't remember talking about this. I don't know where you are. We're all over the board. Okay. But on that blue sheet, I wanted to reinforce. Okay. If 5 squared is 25, that means the square root of 25 is 5, right? If the if 8 cubed is 512, then the cube root of 512 is 8, right? Okay. What we are going to do today is we are going to talk about roots, more than just the square root. We're also going to talk about fractional powers, okay? So we're going to have exponents that are fractions and what that means, okay? So we're going to go piece by piece, okay? It's actually fairly straightforward, but it's just going to look a little bit strange. We just got to get used to some notation, okay? So first of all, the word root, or if I ask you to find a certain root of a number. So we're just going to say n. If I ask you for the nth root, okay, that means if I can raise a number to the nth power and equal a, then that number is an nth root of a. Okay. 8 is a third root of 512 because 8 to the third is 512. Five is a second root of 25 because 5 to the second power is 25. You see what I'm saying? Okay. It's whatever number I can raise to that power and get the number in question. Okay? So this is what we call a radical. And then we're going to have, like this would just be a square root if there's no number on the outside, okay? If we have a little number right here, that is called the index of a radical. So if we have a cube root, a fourth root, a fifth root, any sort of root that's not a square root, then we're going to have a little number there, and that's going to tell us the root that we're talking about. Okay? Okay. So the first thing we need to tackle is if I ask you for a specific root of a number. Okay, what's the nth root of a? Okay. So first of all, if the root is odd, there's only going to be one answer. Okay. However, if the root is even, we are going to have a positive and a negative number that's going to be able to work. Okay? Let's think about that. We said that 5 squared is 25, right? What's negative 5 squared? Also 25. So there's two different numbers that when we square it, we get 25. That's going to happen anytime we have an even root because a negative times a negative is a positive. Okay? So the second roots of 25 would be both positive and negative 5. Okay. Some of you know this already, but we cannot have a negative under a square root. And so now that we're going to be talking about like more than just square roots, if it's an even root, 4th root, 6th root, we are not going to be able to put a negative underneath. Okay?
He's gonna take a breather with me. That's great. I did ask if he was able to do test corrections, and he said yes. And I said, do you want to read that, or do you want to go back? He goes, well, then I write his notes. And I was like, I will happily facilitate anything you want, babe. And he has opted to do his retake right now, if that's okay. He said, she puts the notes in the classroom anyway, and I will go with them after.
Let's do that. Does that work for you? That works for me.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna provide him space. I just need his folder, he said.
Okay. So maybe just take,
Sure.
just, you know what, just take all of it.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. Okay, so let's talk about what if I ask you. We're going to do like 2 examples right in this like little notes area. Okay. So example 1. What if I ask you for the 3rd root of negative 27? Okay, so do we have an odd or an even root? Odd. So it's totally cool that we have a negative number because it's odd. That's fine. Okay, so a 3rd root is the same thing as asking for like a cube root. What number to the 3rd power equals negative 27? All right, then our root is negative 3. The cubed root of negative 27 is negative 3. All right, example 2, we're going to find the 4th roots of 16. I know, hold on. Now, what did we say about when we find roots that are even? What did we say?
There's gonna be 2 answers.
Okay, so we have to think about both a positive and a negative number. And we need to think about what number to the 4th power equals 16. What is it, Em?
2.
Okay, so a positive 2 to the 4th power is 16. A negative 2 to the 4th power is 16. So we have 2 answers. Okay. Okay, so we are going to flip to the extra practice right here. So the next page, I guess you don't have to flip, do you? Or do you? Yes, you have to flip. Okay, I would like you to see if you can come up with answers to these 6 problems. Okay? I don't expect it to be quiet in here because I think you're going to need to talk to each other about this. So figure out what you think the answers are to 1 through 6. Talk to each other about them. I'll give you a few minutes and we'll go over them together, okay? Remember, if it's an even root, you need the plus or minus. Yeah, you can get a calculator. If you want a calculator, that is totally fine. Everyone's so scared to ask.
Wait, this is mine.
Come on.
Whenever you're walking back.
So, so if you put in
Yeah.
which one? So, okay, so this is what I would do if this were me. I really want to emphasize like our exponents, okay? So I think when you guys are getting to here, you're kind of panicking. Is that what I'm feeling?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about number 1. The square roots of 64. Plus and minus 8. Positive and negative 8 both square to get 64. What to the third power is 27? 3. What to the fourth power is 256? Okay, so positive and negative 4 because that's an even root. Okay. Now, in number 4, we have an odd root. Do you agree? 243. Ooh. Ew. This is what I would do. I would, in my calculator, put 2 to the 5th power. Everyone try it. 2 to the 5th power. Is that 243? No. Let's try 3 to the 5th power. Is that it? Oh, okay. So then the 5th root of 243 is 3. Okay. All right, in number 5, do we have an even root? Okay, so we have a plus or minus. So I want to know what number raised to the 8th power is 256. I would start small. In your calculator, what's 2 to the 8th? Ah, okay. Are you with me on your calculator here? Okay, it's awfully quiet. I can hear the bus idling outside. Just want to make sure. Okay. All right, now this one I'm hoping was a little more obvious, right? The 4th roots of 10,000. 10, but we need the plus or minus because it's even. 10 to the fourth and negative 10 to the fourth is going to get us 10,000. Okay? Okay, now, when I'm asking you for roots, we need to think about when it's even, positive, or negative. Okay? Now we're going to switch gears and we're going to look at just simplifying an expression. If we're simplifying an expression, we don't have to worry about the plus minus. We do need to worry about, is our answer negative, is our answer positive, but we're going to have one answer. Okay? Now, this is something that I really like to work with. You can form your own opinion. But when we have a fractional exponent, okay, the denominator of our exponent becomes the root for our number. Okay, so 27 to the 2/3 power, this is still a square, blah, 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 squared, but this means the cubed root. Okay, so this means the cubed root of 27 squared. That's what that means. Okay, so it's kind of like two problems in one. Okay, so write this with me. Write this right here. Write 16 to the 3/4. Kind of do this out of order. That's fine. Whatever. Okay, this means the cubed root, not the cubed root, Miss Holman, come on. The 4th root of 16 raised to the 3rd power. Ah. What's the 4th root of 16? What is it?
2.
2. So this means 2 cubed. Which is 8. Okay. Before we do any more problems like that, I'm going to come back up to this space and we're going to talk about it again. But I really think we should practice evaluating normal roots first. Okay. Anytime you see the word evaluate, you're just going to have one answer. Okay. Better change that. Yeah. Evaluate, we're going to have one answer. Okay. The 4th root of 625. We need to think of what number to the 4th power is 625. Okay, so how might we do that on our calculator to help us? What can we do?
You would put in 4 first, and then you'd hit second, and then the exponent button, and then, the caret button, and then you would hit 6 and 5.
Okay, so Vivi found this button on her calculator. Do you see it? It's like the second for the caret button. So if you put a 4 and then you put that button in 625, hit equals. What do you get? What do you get? You get 5. And what does that mean when we get 5 for an answer? What does that mean? That means what?
5 to the 4th is 625.
5 to the 4th is 625. Okay, so over here, is it okay that I have a negative right here?
Yes.
Yes, because we have a cube root. So the cubed root of negative 512. What number to the 3rd power gets us negative 5/12? What is it? Negative 8. Okay, finish the rest of them off for me.
At 2:15, whenever they call for wrestling.
Okay, so I'll put the homework on Google Classroom.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
just make sure you do that. Okay.
Wait, how do you do that on the calculator?
So if we're gonna do like the third root, I'm gonna put a 3. I'm gonna press second. Do you see this cute little button right there? And then negative 216.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. What's up?
Number 12.
I can't see because your arm.
Maybe it's that, which will probably be this.
Well, it would be, but you don't know that yet, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that yet.
Are you okay?
How would that work?
Oh, how would that work? Okay. What's the cubed root of negative 216? Somebody besides him. What is it? Negative 6 cubed is negative 216. Okay? The fifth root of negative 243. What is that one going to be? M has all the answers, but I want somebody else to go. Ella. Negative 3. Negative 3 to the fifth power is negative 243. What does that mean? Bibby?
It equals 3.
It equals 3, but what is that? What is that? The sixth root of 729 is 3. Okay? Now, in number 12, this means the square root of negative 81. Did anybody try to put that in their calculator?
It doesn't.
Why?
Because you can't have a square root of a negative.
We can't have an even root of a negative number. Dang it. In 2 years, you'll learn about imaginary numbers. I'm sorry, I took your glory away, didn't you? I'm sorry. That was wrong with me. All right. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go to the next page. Let's do this, okay? Let's talk about this weird notation, okay? If we have an exponent and a root squished together, okay? Like this number 13. This would be 4 to the what power?
Please excuse the interruption. Please all boys wrestlers at this time. And all girls selected for the You Go Girl program. Go Monarch.
All right, boys wrestlers, anybody? Oh, we got a manager. All right, good luck. Manage. Awesome. Okay. This would be negative 8 to what power? Yeah, that. What's our power going to be? Is it 2/3 or 3/2? 2/3. Whatever the root is, that has to go as our denominator in our power. Okay. So like if I go over here to number 18, this means the fourth root of 12, and then that number is going to be raised to the third power. And what I need you to be able to do is I need you to be able to take a number and evaluate it. Okay? So look at number 19. Okay? We have a fractional power. Okay? We call this a rational exponent because it's a fraction. Okay? What's the root? 2 or 5? M? This means the 5th root of 32, and then we're going to take that number to the 2nd power. Okay? Here's the 5 becomes our root, and the 2 is our exponent. Okay? So, the 5th root of 32. Eventually, you're just going to know this. It's 2, right? So now we have 2 squared. You don't need your calculator for that one, do ya? 4. Okay? I want to see you rewrite it like this. Okay? I want to see that. Okay? Now, in number 20. Emily, which one's the root? The 3 or the 2?
3.
Oh wait, I was looking at 21. 2.
You would be right in 21. But in 20, it's the 2. So are we going to put this? Do we need the 2 when it's a square root? No, I won't judge you, but you don't need it. Okay. But we have the square root of negative 64 to the 3rd power. Oh, it must be 8 cubed, right? Ah, why not? Oh, we can't have a negative under our square root. Okay? Okay? We cannot have negatives under our even roots. Okay? Now, I want to point out the difference between 20 and 23. What's the biggest difference between 20 and 23 in terms of that negative? What do you see?
It's odd.
What's odd?
Negative 23.
Okay. What else?
You're not looking for the square root of the negative.
Okay. But we are looking for a 6th root, right? Okay, so it's still an even root, Camden. There's no parentheses. So notice how these parentheses are saying, hey, the negative is with the exponent. Here in 23, this is the 6th root of 729 to the 5th power, but the negative is not included with the exponent because there's not that parentheses. Do you see that? Do you see that? Okay, thank you. So help me out. What is the 6th root of 729? 3. So we have negative 3 to the 5th, which would be negative, I don't know it off the top of my head, 243. I know it's going to rain, I think. I know, I just want snow, guys. I just want snow. Okay. All right, you do number 22, and then we'll probably call it good. Do number 22, we'll check it. What's the 8th root of 256? And 2 to the 7th? There it is.